Hey Viking, just going to do the old social media thing because I forgot to do that before the stream. Or anyway, it's not a bad idea to do it when we already started. So yeah, I'm going to be building a few bases today. I have both some science fiction and some fantasy bases planned. I'm going to start preparing for the fantasy bases, and then just I have to have some milliputs drying in the meantime. Could have prepared that before, but time is, of the essence, and so I'm going to be drying some milliput in the oven, and then we're going to switch to the 40k bases and play around with these, and then come back to the fantasy bases, so that there's no downtime. Let's see, microphone is working, maybe the music is a bit too loud, let me know guys. Sounds fine to me, but that doesn't mean anything, of course. Okay, there we go. So, as a first step, I'm going to be preparing some milliput. I thought I had a few milliput sheets still, but apparently I don't. So, just going to be using some of this milliput. It's not the best one anymore. You can see that there's some dried up parts, but it's not that much of a big deal since later, or this is just going to we just need a sheet that is somewhat flat, and it doesn't matter if there's a few features in there that we don't want in the, or that we wouldn't want in a more sophisticated thing. For example, if I were to do a few corners and edges here, I want those to be smooth, but I'm going to aim for a desert base, so cracked earth effect, and there it doesn't matter that much. Hey Ulrich. Yeah, it's always good to read the description. Okay, so I'm just going to check. It's going to be about double this size, so I think that might be enough. If we still need more afterwards, we can still do that. So since I'm going to have to take the second component of the milliput 2, so we're going to have something like maybe something like this. Yeah, maybe just a bit more. Can never have too much of that stuff, really. What game is this? Yeah, I just said I don't care too much about removing that with this piece, because I just explained that. So it's cool, a stream is what you need. Nice. Looks cookie dough. Yeah, it's just milliput standard. You can see the package here. And so we need the second component now. And I'm just going to be flattening that out with something I haven't figured out yet. Oh, maybe just something like this. That's good enough. Also, I don't know. Well, let's see. Put this away and maybe have. Oh my god, this music. Maybe we should switch it up. Let's try this. Okay, that's a bit better. How did I not put like into that sentence? I'm not sure what you mean. But yeah, I don't care about the harder parts in there. Like I said, I'm not going to do something with sharp edges anyway. I just want a thin sheet of the stuff. So, because I'm just going to go for some cracked earth and it doesn't matter that much. Should have been, looks like, oh, okay, okay. I still understood, so there we go. Right, so of course there's some mixing involved in that. Yeah, maybe, I don't know, but you can also do the old crackle medium thing. Add 2 of these here too. Oh, some dust there. Yeah, like this. And also this. Even though I think I did use this to create spider webs or cobwebs, and this one was intended to create the dried earth effect, and then there's also the Games Workshop stuff. But I don't really like these because you don't really know. You don't really know where it cracks and all that. And with this approach, I can choose where it should crack. So that's a plus for this approach. No, with just fantasy bases. That's why it says 40k and fantasy bases. And like I said, I'm just going to quickly prepare a milliput sheet. Hey Mad Goat.
How did you find me?
Triple Zebra or Zebra. Thanks for joining the music. Welcome to the stream. Takes also no skill. Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, you can slap it on and then hope that it looks good, but you still need some thoughts, or some thought has to go into that or into it in order to, yeah, make it look good. You can just spray and pray, really. Oops. So, yeah, I wouldn't say no skill. It's definitely easy to get somewhat decent results, but for me it's just not enough. That's why I want to, you know, I want to be in control about what I do and not just do whatever and then hope something comes out of it, really. I mean, sometimes that works, especially with painting, but when you're actually modeling and creating bases, I feel like that's not the best approach. Well, you know, personally, of course, you can do whatever. I just started, I mean, probably 4 hours, I don't know yet. It's probably going to be exactly 4 hours left. Yeah, but happy little accidents can still happen even with a controlled approach, right? Okay, almost there. I'm also going to wash my hands afterwards because, well, this is not the most healthiest of things, milliput. So if you can handle it with gloves, then definitely do it. Personally, I can't, but I always go and wash my hands afterwards. So that's why I'm going to disappear for a second. Once this is done. See you later. have fun with the kids. Okay, so let's see, this is a bit less than I anticipated, but it's also somewhat on the thick side still. And from experience I know that it's going to be difficult once it's in there to get it smoother or thinner. That's why I'm going to just do as much work like this as possible, and then just try to get it smoother and also a tiny bit thinner still. And if you have seen my video for the Black Templar, then this is probably nothing new to you. But still, it's something that I need for this, and I'm going to be using those bases for, where are they? That's interesting. Oh, here we go. I'm going to be using these bases for these ladies. So we're going to do some desert bases with, yeah, just ruins, destroyed buildings and stuff like that. So should be interesting. Okay, let's see. I want to give it a try. Oh, also, something that you can do. Pour a little, you know, talcum on. So I'm going to wash my hands and going to bring some talcum, just to make everything go a little bit smoother. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so it didn't have any talcum left, so I'm just using flour. It's okay too. No big deal. Just something that takes away the stickiness a tiny bit. Don't want to overdo it either. in order to not have any or too much texture in there. So that should actually be enough. Okay, and then let's roll that out a bit. Like I said, it's going to be a tiny bit. It's going to smell like bread. Could be, yeah. But only up to where I'm going to decide, or up to where I'm going to spray paint it. Then it's just going to smell like solvents. Okay, let's see. I think I can still go a little bit thinner, if that is possible. I think if you don't make it too sticky, if you put that Takuma flour on, it's actually better to roll it out, or easier to roll it out. And then there's always the option to crumble it up a bit. I did that last time. I didn't quite like that. It can create interesting effects, but I think I'm going to crystal meth in the making. But I'm going to try a straighter approach. So having the sheets be run straight. Yeah, that's I think that's okay. There's a few thicker elements there, and a few elements that are not as wide. So I think that's okay. I don't want to go too thin, because then it can be a bit unrealistic. So let me just put that in the oven, and then I'm done. Then we have to wait a bit until it's dry, and in the meantime I'm going to be working with the 40k bases. Okay, starting on the 40k bases, I'm going to be using some plastic sheets. Do you have a special clay oven? No, I don't. I just used a regular one. Okay, so let's start here. I'm going to see. Is that enough space? Yeah, it is. So I'm going to be creating, how would you call those, slates that are just large enough to go under these, because I want to cut away certain elements. And so, for example, I'm going to maybe be cutting out this shape here, this corner, and then I still have something below that I can put something on, like foliage or whatever. We will see. I'm going to be playing around with it. I have a couple of things like some photo etch stuff, and also whoa, okay, that wasn't smart. I prepared something that I now put in there, but some of these are going to go on to, going to be rather selective with what fits on there. I don't want to just randomly put clockworks or cogwheels on. I I am probably going to plan out these. Of course you can just, you know, plan them out a bit less, but I always, even though it's going to be a bit of a random process, I still want to keep the composition for whatever I'm going to be putting on later, so that I can put that on and it's still a well-rounded base and not just some random stuff that I have to pray to get right. Okay, so I'm just going to cut that out. Don't want to cut too close because the plastic sheet can bend in some places. Or under certain circumstances. So I'm just going to roughly cut these out with the scissors and then do some fine work with a knife, and then later, once it's glued on, I'm going to be doing some sandpaper work to get it smooth. Kids are having fun. It's better they have fun than they're crying, honestly. Let's see if I can actually do this, I hope. So yeah, if you are new to the channel, then this is summertime, so in front of my window there's a playground, and yeah, kids are having fun there most of the time. Sometimes, a lot of the times, they are crying. So far we're lucky. Safety first! Hey Cujo. What did I do? Wasn't I careful with anything? Hey Erlek, how's it going? Okay. And yeah, if you can tell, it's still crazy hot. It has about 30 degrees again, even though they said it's never going to go beyond 25 anymore. Don't care that much, but when I'm streaming it kind of sucks because then also the camera is prone to turn off. Let me just quickly push a button here. Will I be able to paint 139 the sexy as you if I join the Patreon? Yeah, definitely. I would say, I would go as far and would say maybe 137, maybe? That's like 2 steps above it. I would say that's a crazy, crazy turnout for joining the Patreon. So yeah. Oh, I forgot. Someone asked me whether or not I can paint a certain style of armor, and I already have a Praetor painted in that style, so I get to ask the person whether or not it's okay to just have a PDF about it. But yeah, here I'm just going to cut out this shape. I want to keep this shape intact and also the other one, of course. So gonna be cutting carefully here, I hope at least. So so that I can use both elements later. And I'm just using a jeweler saw, I want to say. I think that's what they call. So no big deal to cut these really. But yeah, if you guys know my channel and if you know my videos, there is in fact a Patreon that you can join, and you know, you can support for as little as $1. $1 actually goes a long way because the number of patrons goes up, and that's, you know, makes the channel always more interesting to people. But yeah, if you are watching on YouTube, go check out my other videos. And if you like what you see, don't forget to leave a follow, that also helps tremendously. Hey Flixer, I might have to unhost worrying amount of danger in here. What? Danger? The cutting. I have not cut myself in. Hey Painting Troll, a fancy coping saw? Is it that fancy? I don't think it is that fancy. It's just a simple, I don't know, actually no, I have this since a long time I think. Am I torturing children again? No, it's still the playground outside. And we're now in the crying phase apparently. We're in the playing phase and the having fun phase. But apparently that can turn sour pretty fast. Now we have gone and cursed it. I have not cut myself in. I want to say maybe. No, the last time I cut myself, I just got to know my girlfriend, and that doesn't mean, you know. That's no implication. It just coincided. And actually, I was preparing Golden Demon entries. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if we can get this. But yeah, you can see there's a line here that is lighter. And I actually applied a lot of force on a hobby knife, and then I don't know what I did, but it just went sideways, and then I cut myself like here. And if I had cut myself this way, then I think, I don't know, we would probably not see this in the current state. But luckily here, the thumbnail took much or most of the force, and yeah, I was kind of lucky there. Electric tools, yeah, then it would be even louder. They cry every time I watch the stream. Yeah, they do. That's because every time they're outside, they're crying. The event's not linked? No. Hey Morph. Hey Melty Mortal. Going to bed. Okay, have a good one. Yeah, I wish, you know, I wish it were a tiny bit colder, then they would be outside, or you know, we can still pray for some rain. I really cursed it by saying, okay, they're just playing, it's all good. Okay, so that part down here, I really don't like that being there, because it just reaches into that tiny, or into that shape a tiny bit too much. Oh my god. Are these for particular models, or are just making bases for fun? They are for... Should maybe have put that in the title. I'm not sure if I can change that anymore, but they are for my Gene Stealers. So let's see. Don't want to lose any parts. but they are for my gene stealers. So this is probably the one base that I'm going to be using for this one with the heavy weapon. And they are going to be, well, pretty sure they're going to be Golden Demon entries for Games Day UK next year, April, I think. We'll see. But that's at least what I plan. Can we put that here? Maybe that makes sense. Just get rid of all the junk. Never cut myself helps when you have calloused hands from sports. Glad to see you cutting towards yourself in a controlled manner. Personally, I believe cutting away from you is more unsafe due to being more in control. Yeah, well, I don't really count that as cutting towards myself. I mean, sure, you could go like this and I don't know. But the way you're playing force is downwards, you know, and then there's also this safeguard thing here. Also, I do most of the brutal work, or the work that needs more force. I do with the saw anyway. I never really cut anything anymore with a knife that needs a lot of force. So I think I'm actually okay. And yeah, like you said, it's just I'm just applying a tiny bit of force, so when it goes through, I don't actually go all the way down. It's more like this. You can never cut yourself like that, really. Don't forget to hit that like button, chaps and chip passes. Hey, Slippery Squid. Yeah, like I said, don't forget, if you're watching from YouTube, of course, don't forget to subscribe. You can check out my other videos if you want to. But I can tell you that it's worth it. I'm trying to do at least 2 videos per month. Wait, yeah, 1 video per month. I'm trying 2 videos per month, but I want to at least do 1 video per month again for the YouTube channel. And the next one is actually going to be how to win the Golden Demon. And then there's another one that I have lined up, and it's going to be about, I don't know if I can name 10 things, but a few things that I can't really do without in the hobby slash miniature painting. Yeah, in my career as a miniature painter, or a display miniature painter rather. Okay, so should have maybe done that first. Oh, we can still do it like that. I just want to. Should we glue it on and then cut? Let's see. I'm just going to cut it down a tiny bit first. So now we're going to do that whole refinement. Actually, it's my cam. It's maybe time to. Far away from the action. This is Cheers watching, but I'm not logged into Twitch at work. I see. I'll sit it first. I put fabric plasters on my thumb and go crazy. Oh yeah, that's also maybe a good idea. Burnt myself. I didn't really notice that it was that bad. Hey, wait, where's my focus? Hello. But then I did some things, and I ripped off the rest of the skin, and then it hurt pretty bad. But I kind of hate the fact when you are putting plasters on and then you're having a shower and then it goes off again, so I just don't care about that. Okay, so technically I can cut away most of the black line, actually all of the black line, because just because of the way that fine liners or sharpies work when you drag them around the base. I could do that with my machine, but then again, that would just be loud. Call an air ambulance? No. Oh, okay. After I cut myself, huh? Oh, there's the air ambulance. Can you hear it? They weren't here for me. Didn't know you have a saw and a knife, so they won't show up. Preparation is key. I called it. Apparently. All the drama. Oh my god. Is it time to go home yet, kids? So yeah, sorry, but I'm kind of hoping during the next month it's going to get better again. Either it's going to get colder and I don't have to open my window, you know, or it gets colder and the kids are gone, but we will see. Hey Maphis. I've done more damage to my fingers cutting onions than I've ever done cutting plastic. Don't remember cutting myself with a kitchen knife, but you know, don't want to jinx it, of course. Okay, so I know this is a bit slow, but that's just how I work with these things. Like I said, I don't want to cut myself, and also I wanted to look decent. I'm super, how do you call it? I want to have these pieces result in really smooth transitions and all that, which, you know, sometimes people just skip that and still win golden demons and all that, but I just can't look at the things if they have room in between elements. Then I just, my ADC kicks in, ODC kicks in. Oh, now they're synced up but crying. Also, I'm sorry I couldn't really stream last week, but there was just too much stuff to do, so I had to, or I wanted to, I didn't really have to, but I wanted to finish Sylvanos, so she's done now. I'm going to do a YouTube video about that too. So I've been working on that to kind of get back into editing again. Yeah, I couldn't really have time to stream, really. Okay, so since there is an inclination of the base. It's actually okay to stop here. And I'm going to glue that on. And then I'm going to do the rest with some sandpaper. So that I can sandpaper, you know, now it's cut like this. But it should have an inclination. It's cut like that. But it should of course have an inclination like this. And I'm going to do that with sandpaper. Keep some order here. I was cutting an onion horizontally and the knife was super sharp. Went through the onion into the under part of my little finger to the bone. Oh, nice. Looking forward to your Golden Demon video. I suspect it will be interesting. Vince Venturella did one after he visited UK. I haven't seen that. I never heard of the guy. People always come in and tell me, well, not always, but sometimes come in and tell me about it. And I never knew anything about the guy, and I still don't. So I don't know a single thing he painted. Also, yeah, like I said, I have never seen anything he painted. So, but yeah, definitely I'm going to watch that video, or rather, maybe I shouldn't, so that, you know, people don't accuse me of stealing if there's any overlaps. Was that the proper way to do it? I don't think so. Oh no. Okay, we could. I hope. Looks okay, I think. Watch that was interesting. I like his stuff too, although his camera work sometimes makes my eyes go cross-eyed. Interesting. See, I'm going to put that away because I have a feeling this is not going to end well, and this is out of a 50 euro sprue, so it's not like I can just replace that easily. Okay. Let's see, do we want to put anything in there? Maybe like cables or something like that? Hey Kucho. Oh wait, you were already here. Just remembered that you have the emote, right? Let's see, something like that. Doesn't fit below there. I think I'm going to use that for something else, like maybe... Also, I have these smaller bases. I think I'm going to use some of these elements. Like this maybe, to do something. On the other bases. This one I'm going to be using pretty flat, since this is the heavy weapons guy and I don't want to have any or too many pieces sticking out there. Then I also have this part that I want to put in somewhere. Don't know yet exactly, but maybe for the sorcerer. We will see. Or maybe the other way around, like this. So I'm going to, like I said, I don't have a super laid out plan. I'm just going to start a bit more simple and then go a bit more complicated. A twin dragon. So duck faces like these always remind me about Wreckfall. Can't help it. Other bases you're working from... Oh no, those are... yeah, they are these. Necromunda, and actually they have 5 different ones. What happened to me was... A tier, welcome to the Major League. So these are 5 bases, and what happened to me was I didn't have this one, and I had... Okay, well actually it's 4. Okay, so this one is the same, but still, okay, that's 4, and I did only have 1 of these, none of this, 2 of these, and then 7 of these. So that was a bit, you know, I mean, I would have at least like 1 of these or 2 of these, and then maybe more of these, because of the way they work. Like this, I can only cut like that, or like that, or maybe just like this. I don't know. But there's not as much variety in these, the ones that I got, than with the others, really. Hey Janwin, how's it going? I haven't seen you in a while. Have you settled in Ireland again after the big move? Right, so now I'm just going to take that inclination and run with it. Just taking the rim of the base as a guiding angle. Actually, hold on. I think there's still enough material so that I can just try to cut away carefully here. That way we're also not screwing up the trim of the base, the rim of the base too much. With the lower grains sandpaper. Are you going to do water effect? Probably not. We will see. I'm going to do an extra one, and I'll try to do a water effect because I ordered some resin finally, and I haven't done water effects before. Oh wait, that's my sheet. Let's see. I'll be right back. Push it over here. It's still a bit soft, so I'm going to leave it to dry a bit further before we can come back to it. Actually, sometimes it's good to work with softer milliput that you still can somewhat bend, but in this case I'm going to leave it to dry further. But yeah, I'm going to be using some water effects in the future, but the thing is, it's not as easy to use the resin. I mean, maybe here we could get away with just water effects, just plain old water effects, but I really want to try the resin, and it definitely looks better with resin instead of just water effects. Hey Jake, scales, colors. Yeah, I don't know when you checked last time, but it's always the same. Kind of been busy with the thesis. You probably know that, but I'm finally done with university, and then I had a lot of catching up to do with some sculpts that I had to finish. Yeah, and then some Patreon videos that I'm currently editing and so on, and then streaming unfortunately has to take a backseat behind the, you know, behind what pays the bill. Oh, why I was adding the plastic card. So I want these to have multiple layers, and sometimes it's easy to create, or easier to create the layer or a two-layer base by just cutting away something and then filling this part down here. You know, maybe I could even just get away with cutting this and putting it here again. But I'm probably going to do something else. I have a bit of a vision for that. Yeah, Ahmed. Okay. Slow but steady. I think that's enough. So yeah. So now we're just going to have to smooth it. Might be easier to cut that exposed part with the plastic bit attached, so you can see where the edge is. Wait, what? Like this? Cut that exposed part. So like that. Yeah, I think that's for sure smart, but I think it's still going to work like that. Not that much of a big deal, really. And let me assure you, they're not going to notice. I mean, I don't know, maybe the UK judges are stingy with these things, but I doubt it, really. And none of the other judges really noticed in the past. How could you cry as much? Like all day, every day. Just gotta suck to be a kid. Unfortunately, I don't remember, it's too long ago. I need an AC so I can close the window. Right, I'm just going to clean up a few edges here. Socrates, thanks for joining the Major League. Welcome to the stream. What are you planning for the lower level of the base? Pipes? I have some photo etch stuff that I will attach probably. And then just close, yeah, close these walls again. Some milliput. Going to show you in a second. Just want to get this somewhat sorted. And yeah, I'm going to definitely do some pipes on some other pieces, but I'm probably going to cut away. So for this one, I'm probably going to cut away this part here. Oh, can you see that? So this part. Or maybe I'm going to cut away the middle part and put some pipes in between, and then put something over. That could also be an idea. But yeah, I'm definitely going to use one of these for that. Something where there's a bit more space to actually work with the pipes. And where it's not just the ending. That makes sense. So yeah guys, feel free to ask any questions if you have them, and again, don't forget to check out my other videos. If you don't know what I'm usually doing and this looks a bit silly to you, then maybe check out my painting videos and so on, and hopefully in the end it's going to make a bit more sense. Pipes and cables with a metal grid over, yeah, exactly, something like that. I have a couple of different grids. Oh, it's that guy again. I mean, it's always the same. I should maybe mark down like timestamps when the screamer is there, when the kids are crying and so on, and I'm pretty sure it's always going to be more or less the same timestamps. Okay, what did I say? Oh yeah, I need some finer green sandpaper. The corn kid, yeah, exactly. So much stuff lying around. Also, it's soon time to buy some more sandpaper. So this is the finest grain that I have. It's usually to be used with water. But it's not that much of a big deal, like I said. Once we are base coating over that, it's going to be not as visible anymore, even if there's some grain here. And actually it adds to a more matte result when you spray over that. That or small orc, yeah, a very small one. Don't want to dip my fingers into my drinking water, really. My toddler is getting to that age. It's a joy. I believe you. Yeah, it's that age where, you know, can't really argue. But yeah, and of course you can't argue when they're in a toddler stage either, but that's also why I kind of like to teach older kids, because then the strategies are vastly different. Okay, I think that's good enough. And I thought those would be larger, but yeah, now we just have to fill these holes again. So I'm just going to take some plastic card. It's kind of hot in here. Just stick them under the stairs and soundproof it. Yeah, I guess could. Okay, question is, yeah, I don't want to lose too much space here, so I'm going to to cut them smaller so that they fit into the cracks. We'll see if that works. Be careful. Yeah, that's probably not going to work. What else could we do? Guess I don't want to keep these. Maybe just... Oops. Maybe I can just glue two together. Is that going to be enough? Yeah, probably. Would totally close the window, but I'm super hot. It's unreal, actually. Back to work, alright. See you later. Edges on the same level. Probably going to end up using some... Oh no, it's too large. Probably going to end up using some milliput on the wrist. It's just a tiny bit too large. That's the stupid thing about super glue. Sometimes they stick instantly. It's going to be good enough for now. Like I said, going to come back and fill the rest of the gaps with some milliput. I think I'll just use this and glue it on without a second layer to just have some room or some area for the milliput to attach. Okay, this is not working the way I intended it. Oh great, just what I needed. I'll be right back. Let's all band together and make some noise. That's good. Okay, so there's probably a better way to do this. However, I can figure it out. So I'll just do it like this. Interesting. Okay, still live. What's happening? Weird. Anyway, the next step is going to be using some of that. Actually, I don't know. It says engrave plate. Don't know if that is the right word, but I'm just going to check and see how much I need. Should be roughly like that. Straight scissors, not the best tool for this. Just making sure the edges are straight before I add the milliput. This looks good. Okay, I just need a small amount of it. It's actually probably too much.
And what does it do?
Note Kaju, thanks for joining the Patreon. Thanks a lot for the support. And yeah, I hope you do enjoy the content. Let me know if you know, once you skim through it. Let me know if anything is missing, or if you have any requests. It's always an option to do on the Patreon. But yeah, thanks a lot. But yeah, so for everyone else watching, if you're new to the stream, don't forget to follow. And you can check out my social media links below the stream. That always helps, you know, when people are joining these. Because big numbers are always better than small numbers. I'm sure I'll enjoy the PDF. Ah, that's great. I'm working on the next one. And it's going to be about the one of my Golden Demon entries that didn't end up being an entry because I couldn't finish it. But I am about to finish that entry, and then I'm going to do a PDF about it. Denny V, Fantasy 40k. Thanks for joining the Major League. Welcome to the stream. So yeah, the next two PDFs are going to be about, well, actually one of them is going to be part 2 of one of the other entries, because I finished the mount a long time ago. Well, it's about 90% finished, and I made a PDF about the mount, and now the rest of the entry is done too. Hold on, where's my sculpting tool? Oh, here it is. But yeah, the last months were a bit busy with having to finish the thesis and all that, but now I'm back on track with, and I did actually pause the Patreon for, actually it was twice, I paused it twice. So that's when, you know, when there's no content, when I can't make it, then I definitely do pause the Patreon. I don't see it as you know, constant support regardless of content or not. Of course it's great if people want to see it as that, and you know, a lot of the people that pledge $1 only, well, only, I say only, because they don't really get any rewards other than the streams and the YouTube videos. but that also helps quite a bit. And like I said, if I could get enough to pledge a $1, then all the content would be free, and that would actually be my ideal approach to Patreon. But yeah, maybe we'll get there. Hey Snick, how are you? Okay, that was a bit too much. Milliput there. But yeah, I can't complain. There's, I think there's now almost 90 patrons, and I'm super happy about that. Of course, my goal is to double that now that I can put a lot more time into it. Now that I don't have any more distractions. Nothing left to destroy. Okay, so that is not as smooth as I wanted it. That's because I just do whatever I just do it and I don't think too much about it. Okay, so technically I should probably leave this to dry. However, I also want to glue that on, so let us do that. Oh, good to hear, Sneak. Yeah, it's still hot, and now everyone's mowing the lawn, and the kids are screaming outside again, so I had to close the window. So let's see how long it takes for the camera to overload and not overload, overheat and all that. But other than that, let's see. Let's rough this off a bit. So get to make sure that, especially towards the rim, it's going to stick properly. Just making sure it's flat everywhere. And like I said, this is just the first one, and it's probably going to be hosting the gunner with the heavy, what is it? I think it's a seismic gun. And I don't want to distract too much from the guy. That's why the base is too, or make it too busy with this guy already being, yeah, drawing a lot of attention. I was going to say I have a lot. Here's scissors, that's a lot smaller. Might have to use some sandpaper there. Hopefully it's going to work. Got to make sure that I drag down, not pull up, because that would just rip off the photo edge parts again. Careful not to destroy. Milliput, I think I just did a tiny bit, but it's no big deal. Just going to smooth it out again. Yeah, I have this large box of parts, you know, photo edge stuff and just random bits from buildings that Games Workshop released over the years and so on. And I'm super happy about that. I kind of want to have a lot more of that stuff, because you can just slap it on random bases and yeah, change their appearance a lot. So super interesting stuff actually. And of course, like I said, it's just a minor detail, but should be good enough to make it look a tiny bit different. I want to add one thing. See if that takes away too much of the pattern, but I don't think so. So let's just cut this. Some super glue on the blade, that's always good. Because I have a few, I don't know how they're called, T profiles, I want to say. Like that. And I'm just going to use the smaller side as a, how would you call it? Okay, that didn't work. Yeah, that's probably not exactly working the way I wanted to. But again, it might. Or it might not. That wasn't really too elegant. No, it's actually too thin, really. Just put in a frame there. how that looks. I mean, it's not too bad. Yeah, I might have to just be a bit more careful here and try that again. I think it's still the super glue that's stuck to my blade. Speaking about super glue, I always want to make sure that my color shapers are not in the vicinity of super glue, because that can ruin them pretty fast. Let's cut a little bit less force. So it still needs some smoothing because it still has elements of the T shape. Might still be better. Oh, I have an idea. I have some smaller plastic card. Or thinner, actually. It's transparent, but that's not really a big deal. Let's see, how do they compare? Yeah, this is a bit smaller still. But anyway. It's funny, you can't even see it properly. Okay, that didn't quite turn out straight. Hey stars, greeting from Spain. Artist, yeah, I like it. They do not charge for that. I'm not sure I understand, sorry. But yeah, welcome. So I kind of like the T profile because it's how would you call it? Looks a bit more straight than this, but I think it's working. Maybe I can just use it for one part and then have the other part go on this side. Yeah, I think that's okay. Now let's see if it's actually going to work. I think I might be using the almost empty super glue again. Should be another one somewhere. this going to stick? I'm not quite sure. We'll see. I think this is going to stick better since it's flat. Doing these. Yeah, this is not sticking the way I wanted to, but it's okay. Just careful. Getting in the way. Hey, John. Why make new stuff when 10-year-old projects are winning gold demons? Don't worry, Stars. It's okay. I think I got it. So don't worry. Okay. I just want to get rid of this glue down here. I know, why even bother? I mean, the thing is, I could probably just paint the standard bases and it wouldn't make any difference. But still, I mean, it's still fun to do, right? Okay, so that's probably the first one done. Like I said, it's going to look different once I apply the base coat. Then you're going to see all the strips and stripes and all that better. I have one element. Where did I leave those? Oh. So for some of them, I also want to try these. What am I running over? Oh, that's my cable. I don't want to run that over. Do it like that. No, it's okay. Anyway. So I have some of these elements. It's actually rubber tires from toys. I might be, like I said, using just bits. Wait, do I have a second one? Yeah, I have a second one here. So maybe I can cut off just like or a piece like this. Cool. And make two bases out of these, and then just put on a bit of a tire and somewhere. That's also an idea. Palace things go slowly. Like really, like parts that or things that should look okay or should look good in the end, they go slowly. I guess so. All right. So I probably want to switch right now to one of the other bases that I want to do, one of the fantasy bases. So I'm just going to put these this aside shortly, or for a second. Since I probably want to pose at least some of the oh my god, what are they called? Gene stealers on there, to see where I need flat surfaces and so on, and how wide the steps are, or their steps are, or their stances are, before I go on putting, you know, weird things on, and then in the end I can put a miniature on there. So I'm just quickly making a bit of space here so that there's not so much junk lying around on camera. Okay, so like I said, I prepared some of our sheet of milliputs, and these bases are wider or bigger, which makes them a lot more interesting, I think. That's not a good one, still needs a lot of cleaning. I have a second one. Oh, they all do. It's interesting. Yeah, let's clean that up quickly. Hey Modular. Oh, I couldn't even pronounce that properly in Spanish, I think. In Spanish the saying sounds better. Yeah, that's the thing with sayings, right? They're in a certain language for a reason. Because they probably also are influenced a lot by the culture that they originate in. Right, just going over the rim of the base because there's a lot of extra plastic that I don't want to be there. So just the very edges. Kinda don't have that with the new way that they do these bases. You know, even with the I mean, the new bases are a bit more comparable to these than the old ones, and those look super crisp, and these just don't for some reason. Are you still in school? Did you get your teaching degree? I got the degrees finished. Finally. It took a bit of an effort during the last, well, finished it in July. Last day of July, and then in August the girlfriend demanded some holidays, so that's what I did in most of August. And yeah, now I'm back to working in the miniature, or on the miniature, or on miniatures. But yeah, I'm finally done, but I didn't get a job, unfortunately, with teaching, which is not that much of a big deal since I can just focus on miniatures instead, but it would have definitely been a bit more of a security net. But yeah, next year, definitely, since I'm kinda, I definitely have to be next in line. There cannot be any more people in front of me for the next shop opening. Because I was already teaching for 4 years and I have everything ready now. And I don't need to do a practical year and all that new teachers have to do, usually. Okay, I kind of want to wash my hands because there's so much smoothing going on and so much dust, so I'll be back in a minute. So for this one, I actually have a miniature that I want to put on there. Where is it? I just cut and cleaned a few of them, but I can't really glue them together yet because some need to be painted in sub-assemblies, which kind of sucks, but sometimes you have to do it. Whoops. Okay. And I want this one to wind around a pillar, and it kind of fits. I just have to find an excuse to incline that pillar this way. First, I wanted to do like a resculpt of that so that maybe this part is cut and she winds around a more straight pillar, but I don't know if I want to invest that much time. Could maybe cut this opening up a bit more. Yeah, but all in all, that's probably what I'm going to do. Just have a wrap around this. And I'm going to extend this pillar so that it's maybe 3 parts, then I can still decide to cut away some of it. So I need a 3rd part. They're not really super straight because of the way they're cast. It's going to work. So I'm just going to make sure that they stick together by gluing them together. That might be super wonky. Let's see. They probably go together good like this. I'm just going to pin them just in case there is some kind of or some sort of shear force. so that they don't break apart when they're just held by glue. Plenty of teaching jobs in America, but then you have to live in America. Nothing wrong with that, right? But actually, the level of what is being taught in American schools, unfortunately, is below the standard that is taught here. I mean, we are definitely moving. We have a downward spiral going on. But I had a few friends in school that took a year in America, like an exchange year, and they said they didn't really learn anything new there because they already heard it like 2 grades ago. And I have had these reports separately from different people that don't know each other, so I do believe them. But it's actually it's really weird, and I don't know what the reason for that is. Alright, didn't press a button. Oh, actually we have some overheating going on here. Because unfortunately I had to close the window. Let's move those lights a bit away. And of course now this is completely bent out of shape. That's not the way I planned it. When in doubt, use activator spray. I should have probably picked these a bit more carefully. I'm tripping. Here is Nozzle. Whoa. That's my Twitch dashboard. Okay, there it is again. Okay, sorry for that. That's far enough. So I kind of want to switch music at this point. Let's try this playlist. It's a bit much of super glue. Yeah, so the smaller these pillows are, the less I feel like they fit together. The larger ones actually fit pretty good. But let's see. I'm going to, where is it? A better one. Oh, there it is. Going to separate the elements a bit, just so they look a bit more interesting. Oh, sorry. Shouldn't touch the table when I do that. There's simply too much super glue here. So let's do that with the knife. And you can see some parts are breaking, but that's actually no big deal. Since I want it to be ruins anyway, that just adds character. Down here it should work better. Try it again up here. So yeah, if you're new guys, don't forget to follow, leave, you know, subscription as in YouTube subscription on the channel. Check out my social media stuff. You can find it below the stream window. These are actually what are they called? And where did I put them? Okay, they're called Melusai, Daughters of Cain. That's what they are for, the fantasy ones at least. Okay, get rid of the extra dust. Okay, and like I said, I want some parts to, well, be lower than the other, so that it actually makes sense why this pillar is inclined the way I want to set it up. So something like this. But that means the whole thing is probably, well, the platform that she's standing on, or the what could it be? Like maybe it's a floor that has crumbled down a bit, or yeah, has disintegrated a bit. But I also need some volume for that floor, and probably going to do it with a bit of, what is it actually called? Has a different name in English than in German, I think. Okay, that wasn't too smart because I didn't cut it in a proper way. Didn't really cut it parallel. Too large anyway, so I'm probably going to do like half of it. Both like this and like this. Going to take some major cleanup. And like I said, this is just going to be bulk. I'm going to be detailing this like it was maybe some rubble by adding some milliput or something like that. So now it should more like this. there to be an opening. Yeah, so it's probably going to be like this. That way she's still somewhat centered, but it still leaves some room for the cracked earth effect that I planned. Let's see if this goes on. And the rest of the tail is up in the air, I think. So that's okay. Yeah, that works. Let's maybe glue that together, even though... Huh. Now the pillow doesn't fit anymore. Damn. Well. So much for that. Yeah, I'll just get rid of a couple of skills. Let's see. One thing I could of course do is downgrade the size of the pillars, but I don't know, I feel like that's maybe too tiny. So let's see, we'll still have these. Yeah, those are definitely too small. By comparison. Nah, these are too small. They barely make any... Well, they don't really play a role. If you put those in, it's not like they feel like a relevant element. So I definitely have to play around with cutting some parts here. We will definitely get away with cutting this part a bit wider because it's not going to be visible. Hopefully it's not going to be visible. Well, we'll see. Okay, it's still not fitting. Getting closer though. So the scale needs to go. Nothing a little force can handle. Okay, just need to find the right length so that the composition makes sense. Incline it more like that. There's just one thing I'm not really sure that the rest of the tail, yeah, the rest of the tail is probably reaching over the edge. It's not clean yet. So I think I might have to rethink this a bit. Yeah, because this definitely wants to be on a base too. I just glued it on and see. Just have to do some adaptations to maybe the way that it's sitting on a base or on the base. Yeah, it needs some part back here. But that's not that much of a big deal. Just to maybe like this, have the whole, switch the whole scene a bit to the side. And then have another thing back here. And that can definitely work. Probably gonna go ahead and just glue that part or that piece of styrene to the base directly. Just marking where it should go. Actually, don't know if that if super glue eats that. We will find out. Maybe a bit. thing that the next hour they can fix. That music is disgusting. Okay, I think that works. So I'm just going to play with that inclination and get rid of a part down here. Okay. Kinda broke that. Maybe force is not the answer. Then again, if I just glue it on fitting like that, and just leave a bit of space that I can just milliput over. Take the flex for some rough sculpting. Yeah, maybe not. Actually, it was not the repositioning, it was just touching them all in the wrong parts. Oh my god, that sounded wrong. Okay, now we have a bit more wiggle room, apparently. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Yeah, I like it. Just maybe that whole thing. Ooh, can go a bit further to the back, so I'll make this bigger. Still wants to be bigger. Yeah, that also means I can get away with a smaller element back here where the rest of the let's do that. The rest of the body rests on. just make a mental note about that. Okay. That definitely works. Yeah, I think we have an awaiting problem. Let me just open the window again and hope it's more quiet outside. It's not really that much more quiet, but at least the lawnmower is gone. Okay. But yeah, I still think this is a good start. And so the next steps are going to be making or turning this into a believable stone, and then maybe adding an element or two to the base, and then working on the the cracked earth effect. Give me a second. But yeah, it's a bit slow today. I'm going to stop here, I think, and be back tomorrow. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you again next time.